and welcome to 3 Tune Tuesday for Tuesday, June the 9th. I am your host, Bonaparte, and with me is your hostess, Yulia.
Hello.
Can you believe that we are just about halfway through the year?
I cannot.
It is amazing to me.
I mean, I feel like this is something that just, like, as you get older,
It's true.
time goes so much faster. And like, post-COVID, time is meaningless anyway.
Oh,
but
it is. It's like Blurl's Day of the month of... Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, just yesterday I was 15.
Right?
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. I want them back.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't want to go back there.
Well, no, I want those years back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. That means you have to live everything all over again. And that's like...
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. We're in a good spot now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So we'll enjoy June and Letha coming up.
Yes.
Yes. So for all of you listening, I do have a list of like 35, 36, upwards of 40 potential episodes that we can do. I try to split them up. A lot of my process for choosing what theme I would like to do for the week is how can I best confound Yulia?
Great.
Yes.
Great.
Yes, that is why I bring this up.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
This week was not one of those. This last week, of course, Saturday, June 6th, was the anniversary of D-Day.
Yes.
Yes. And, that's something that many of us in this day and age probably don't think much of anymore outside of history and history books. It's something that, it affects me in a linear way. My grandfather, volunteered in the Canadian infantry in World War II at the beginning of the war, and he was one of the soldiers. He was a sergeant. He landed on Juno Beach on D-Day.
Okay.
So obviously he survived.
Yeah.
Married a war bride from London.
Right.
And they moved back to, the west side of British Columbia, around the Vancouver, Abbotsford area, and proceeded to found a farm and have a family and, so on and so forth.
Sure.
And his army time was something that he certainly never spoke about to me because I rarely ever saw him, dysfunctional family dynamics and all. But according to my father, his time in the war, particularly D-Day, was something he never spoke about. Ever.
Yeah. I find that to be pretty much across the board with, people in my family, the men in my family, and I'm thinking of both my grandfathers and my great uncle.
Right.
The war affected them all in different ways. My grandfather fought in the Pacific Theater.
Okay.
My maternal grandfather. And my paternal grandfather, I think, was in Europe. And I think I know for a fact his brother was. Eddie was.
Okay.
I've got a suitcase full of Eddie.
Yeah.
When he died, it was all that was left of his worldly possessions
Right.
was in that suitcase, which was wild to me.
Yeah.
It's right over there.
Yeah.
It's right over there. And his service records are in there along with his dog tags and all that stuff.
Oh, very neat.
Yeah. And of course, my great uncle was in a camp. He was in an internment camp.
Oh, right.
Concentration camp. And across the board, nobody liked to speak about the war.
I think I can understand it. I say it like I know. It must have been one of the most horrifying, terrible, terrific times in their life.
Like literally by the strictest definition of the word terrible.
Exactly.
As in full of terror.
Right. Day in, day out.
People shooting at you.
Yes.
They got my maternal grandfather. He was shot through both of his feet.
Right.
Yeah, he walked around with metal in his leg until the day he died, which is crazy to think about.
Right.
But yeah, like whenever, and as kids, and you're learning about it in school, and then you realize, oh, my grandparents lived through the war, and you're learning about it in school, and you want to talk to your grandparents about it. It was kind of tough to get information out of either grandfather.
Right.
And my maternal grandfather, Pop-Up, to his credit, I guess, he only talked about the things that he saw that were beautiful.
Yeah, you mentioned that. And that says something about his character.
Oh, he was such a
Yeah.
gentle person.
Yeah.
He was such a gentle, beautiful human. He talked about being in the Philippines because that's where he was stationed. Right. And he said, he used to tell me, you wouldn't believe the colors there, the colors of the flowers and,
right.
and the wildlife. And, you know, these people are so different from us and how beautiful they were.
Right.
And I remember being in junior high school. I was like 15, and I was going on a flight for the first time. And I was terrified of it, getting into a plane and flying to Florida. It was only like 2.5 hour flight. But I remember Pop saying to me, he's like, he said, it's the most beautiful thing you'll ever see. He said, when I was in the war, I was scared too, getting up into a plane. And he said, but once you get up above the clouds, he said, that's what I imagine heaven must be like. And he said, he said, you're gonna love that.
Yeah.
And he was right. Once you get up above the clouds, it's like, oh.
It's peaceful, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But yeah, just that I understand, you know, what you were saying about, you know, your own grandfather didn't like talking about it.
Yeah.
You know, because God knows what he saw in Juno Beach.
Oh, my goodness,
It was a bloodbath.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for what we see in films, and I think that I'm thinking of Saving Private Ryan.
Okay, right.
And Platoon.
Yeah.
And, you know, war films of more recent nature that are a little bit more realistic as to what the horrors of war actually entail. And I think of my poor grandfather, this gentle person.
Right.
Who went overseas. He did his duty. He enlisted.
Yeah.
Went over and just saw the most horrific things. This gentle, beautiful person.
Yeah, but kept the beauty out of it.
Yeah.
Kept the beauty from it, I should say.
Yeah. He took that away from his experience and talked about it. But yeah, I can't even imagine what goes through the minds of people that run toward,
you know, a burning house, firefighters.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to think that I would do the same thing in that moment, but I honestly don't know.
Yeah, until it hits you, it's hard to say that, oh, I would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're full of bravado when there's nothing going on.
Right.
But once there are, you know, consequences, you know, what will you do?
Right. Like, what are the stakes?
Yeah, exactly.
And what are the risks? And people that, listen, I don't think it's a stranger to anybody listening to this that I'm anti-war.
Yes, yeah.
But sometimes things get to a point where a war must be fought. And, man, I don't know that I could do it. The psychological preparation that you have to do for yourself to pick up a weapon.
Oh, right.
And, prepare yourself to kill somebody, potentially.
Exactly. Right.
I can't even imagine. That kind of psychological compartmentalization is, I don't know that I could.
Yeah. I mean, they're human beings.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, so we could talk a long time about, you know, everything that we have spoken about, you know, and then some. There's so much more. But what I did, you know, for this week, you know, and for those of you who, you know, might not be aware, you know, I choose and listen to the songs beforehand. Yulia gets to listen to them for the first time as, you know, as we record the podcast. So I put together an arc for the week. 3 songs that tell a story.
Okay.
Now, it's worth, you know, bearing in mind that we play songs here that were recorded prior to 1927 now that we're in 2026. You know, and obviously the Second World War indeed hadn't happened yet.
Right.
You know, but wars certainly had.
Well, probably the most significant being the First World War that point, which
I tried to shy away from because we've done it before, and we'll probably play some of those songs again.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to, you know, to step outside of that particular mindset.
Oh, okay.
So I found some songs that were written before then.
Okay. So I guess I'm getting ahead of myself. I was going to ask you which wars they pertained to, but
Yeah, we'll get to those.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
we'll get to those. Now, the first one is not, the first song we're going to listen to is actually not a war song. It was a hymn initially,
Okay.
entitled "Throw Out the Lifeline."
Throw out the lifeline. Do I know that one?
Okay.
I'm not sure.
It was written in 1888 after Edward Ufford, who was a Baptist minister, witnessed a life-saving drill by the Coast Guard just out of Nantasket Beach in Massachusetts. And he heard that there was a nearby shipwreck. And it inspired him. It inspired him to write the words and the music about people calling for help and other people selflessly going to help them.
Yeah.
Throw out the lifeline. So it was intended as a gospel hymn, calling believers to evangelism, but it gives it a bit of a physical urgency, considering that the impetus behind him writing this was a potential maritime disaster, and watching the Coast Guard go through drills to help people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the background of this song.
Okay.
Okay, it was recorded by one of our recurring artists, Henry Burr.
Oh, that dude.
Yep, on Columbia Records. And this would have been the early 1900s, I believe it was, I want to say 1904,
Ooh,
1905.
pretty early.
Yeah, we're going
But
back
it was
to
written
those.
only 20 years
20 years,
earlier.
yeah, 20 years prior to that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so,
Oh, what was that?
something outside.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, our studio is the dining room.
Yeah, so anything that happens out there, we might hear in here.
Indeed. Okay, so we're going to kick off our story for the week with Throw Out the Lifeline, or the imaginary people calling for help.
Okay.
So that was Yeah, that was Henry Byrne. That was a song that was, I think, right up his alley.
Oh yeah, yeah. He kind of those old hymns are kind of in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, he sings them in a very distinctive way.
He does.
I was saying to Bonaparte off mic that I think that there are alternate verses for that. Like I think that tune has probably been set to other hymns as well.
I'm sure.
It has that very 1800s hymny kind of sound.
It does, yeah, it does.
You know, those sort of pre-Victorian, Victorian
Right.
sounding hymns. And I like the fact that it was recorded on a reed organ,
Oh, yeah.
which is reed organs. And that sounded to me like it was straight up a parlor organ. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
When I say parlor organ,
I do,
like
yeah.
you'll often
Yeah.
find these things, especially here in the Northeast, you'll find them in people's houses
Right.
because they're too freaking big to move, but they're antiques. Nobody wants to get rid of them. And they are beautiful. They're like the furniture that contains the pipe organ, rather, it's not a pipe organ, it's a reed organ. The furniture that contains the reed organ itself is gorgeously sculpted. It usually has inlay. It usually has lathe work on it, and it usually has like mirrors in it, like leaded glass mirrors.
Right.
And the bellows are usually like carpeted, and they're just beautiful instruments to look at, and they were very popular right around this time
Okay.
that we're listening. That this, he said this was what, 1908?
Yeah, around then. Yeah.
Yeah. They were super popular to have, like if you were a wealthy family, you had a parlor organ in your
Okay.
house because that was a way you entertained yourself, right?
Sure, yeah.
They were making these things in the late 1800s, and they remained popular probably through the 19-teens, maybe slightly into the 1920s.
Okay.
But yeah, it was nice to hear that kind of in a recording and not like as a legit instrument and not in somebody's living room.
Right.
You'll see them sometimes in churches too. In fact, I know there's a reed organ. Where did I see one? I want to say that there is a reed organ at St. George's Church downstate in Delaware, the St. George's Episcopal Church.
Okay.
Like, I think is that Long Neck? Technically, I don't know, but I want to say they've got a reed organ there. So, like in old churches, you'll see them too.
Okay. Neat.
They're a little bit easier to maintain than pipe organs.
Okay.
You don't have to tune them necessarily,
Right.
Because they don't act wacky like pipe organs do.
Right. Okay.
But
very
yeah,
neat.
very neat to hear that in a
Yeah.
recording.
Yeah, I like that. I really like that song.
Yeah.
And I've listened to that one. I think that's my third time today, and I've enjoyed it each time.
It's a nice song, and it talks about saving people who like seeing the need and attending to the need.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Somebody needs help. Let's go help them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is normally the part of the show where we plug our coffee. And I do want to do that, but I don't want to be as flippant as we often are.
Okay.
Okay. So we do have a serious theme this week, D-Day and, putting yourself in harm's way to protect somebody else. And that's a pretty amazing thing. And Neely was just talking about, her grandfather who took away from the war the beauty of the world around him. And that's what I'd like to segue with into our quick coffee discussion. We do have coffee for sale, and that is, what we use to not only give back to public broadcasting, but to help us pay our hosting bills. But one of the things I'm proud of about our coffee is we are part of a co-op that sources coffee from around the world. But we also focus on, as part of our daily lives as well as the life aspect of everything. And we do like to celebrate and enjoy the Wheel of the Year, which to me is very life-inspiring. Regardless of what happens, we can rest assured that, the seasons will change and life will come back. And to that end, we do have at Skeleton Brew Coffee, skeletonbrew.coffee, coffees that follow the Wheel of the Year.
Yeah.
And we are putting up for sale out on the website this week our Letha coffees. which is a Peruvian coffee to celebrate, essentially the summer solstice
Yeah.
and midsummer.
Yes, and we have tried it, and it is delicious.
It is. It really is.
Really enjoy it.
Yes. So we've got a Letha coffee entitled Letha, and we have a Letha tea what did we call it? Midsummer's Treat or something of the sort?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a really...
That was your department.
It was, and I've forgotten. But it's a really yummy peach black tea.
I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, we'll get you doing that this week.
I mean, do we still have is the packet gone?
No, we have some.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it's good.
All right.
Yeah, so each of them, they're all of our coffee and tea at skeletonbrew.coffee is $20 a piece. From each item that we sell, we donate $1 to public broadcasting, and we use whatever is left over to help us pay our hosting bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and along the way, we want to make sure that everybody is being treated and paid fairly.
Correct.
So we source our beans from independent growers.
Yep.
We then buy the beans with a co-op to keep our costs down.
Correct.
When you order the coffee, it is roasted on demand. You are not getting something that has been sitting there. So our independent roaster is another independent business that you're supporting by buying this coffee.
Yes.
So by buying our coffee, you are supporting any number of... At every step along the way, we try to keep it as small as possible.
Yeah.
Because we believe in the power of the small business.
Exactly. You're supporting... Every purchase supports multiple small businesses, straight from the independent farmer to us to the independent roaster.
Right.
And then public broadcasting on top of that.
Right. Because in this day and age, I think that we small businesses have to look out for one another.
Yes.
That's kind of our throw out a lifeline, right?
Exactly.
We see other people that have interests that are compatible with ours. And so we're like, you know what? Yeah, let's help each other. Let's scratch each other's backs.
Yeah, exactly.
Because what better way to help somebody than to see a need, fill it, and also like give double middles to big corporate.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, it's a good feeling for me.
Right. Like, and if you want more double middles, you can listen to our previous podcast
Which
episode.
is full of double middles.
Loads of double middles. And if you want to maybe do triple middles, you can go to our nokings.coffee website.
Yes.
And we have some coffee for sale there. We have some special roasts.
We do.
And we've also got some special merch there.
We do indeed.
And from that website, nokings.coffee, every purchase made, every item purchased, we will donate $2 to Indivisible.
Yes.
Who is also throwing out the lifeline.
Exactly.
They have seen the need to resist, and they are stepping up to the need.
Yep.
And they are the ones doing the organizations of the general strikes, of the protests, of the No Kings marches and activities, and they're helping people organize at the local level.
Yeah.
There are Indivisible chapters in Delaware, right here where we live.
Indeed there are.
Yeah. So we like to support that because, there's a need. We see the need.
Yeah,
We're rising up to the need.
And we like to do what we can.
That's right. We do what we can, and this is, we got a podcast and we sell coffee, but, as long as we've got the mic, we're going to use it.
Yeah. Until somebody takes it away.
Let them try.
Exactly.
I am the wrong one, man. Don't come after me. I am the wrong one.
And we have cats that will defend us.
That's right.
Yes.
I heard they bite fascists.
They do indeed bite fascists.
Okay.
Yes, and if you do browse to nokings.coffee and look for the accessories tab, you will see our fascist biting cats.
Yes. They're most excellent.
They are.
Okay.
So moving back to our episode and our songs. When I think of of D-Day and of impending invasions and attacks, obviously, I think one of the first things that comes to mind is, what happened that day. What are the soldiers thinking as they're in the water on the boats on the way over? But what doesn't come to mind that much until maybe you sit and contemplate on it a little more is, what were they thinking the day before? I mean, because, I get apprehension going for a job interview.
Yeah.
And this is something substantially more because a lot of them I don't want to get into their heads, but I can imagine it being a very prevalent thought. I might not see another dawn.
Making peace.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of harkens back to what I was saying earlier about like the psychological preparation you have to kind of do. And that was not like therapy was not a thing.
Oh, right. You were either a man or you weren't.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, you talking about your feelings and the fears and the trepidation and the horrible things that you've seen. Many of those soldiers had already seen a lot of battle.
Right.
So imagine every time you have to go into a skirmish or a battle, you have to do that mental preparation.
Again.
Right. And again and again. And imagine what that like does to you. I can't relate. But yeah, that I imagine that among them, I'm going to have musical theater Tourette's here for a minute.
Okay.
Because my brain's on shuffle constantly. And so in the musical Les Miserables, there's a scene where they know they're going to be barricading and there's going to be an attack on their barricade. You know, these are the people that are resisting the French government. You know, they're pushing back.
Yeah.
These are the people that are fighting the bourgeoisie, you know, all that stuff. And they know that the next day is probably going to be brutal.
Right.
They've already lost comrades. And there is a song called Drink With Me.
Okay.
And they toast the women in their lives. And they toast their comrades. And they toast the people who have fallen already. And they contemplate the meaning of their own lives. And, you know, maybe I won't see another day, but we're fighting a noble cause and we have to remember that. And it's a ballad. It's a ballad.
Oh, interesting. You know, I've never seen nor heard.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, it's very moving. It's very, very touching. I'm kind of barfed out on Les Mis because I've seen it so many times.
Sure. You're right.
Oh my God. So many trips to New York.
Yeah.
But it's a solid show. And maybe I need to revisit it, you know, now that I'm a little bit older and I've put some distance between. But like that was the big musical when I was in high school,
Right?
And everybody knew Les Mis,
Yeah.
and especially if you were a theater brat like me.
Right. Right.
But yeah, Drink With Me. It's sort of that mental kind of preparation. But they were also making merry. They were drinking.
Sure.
They were enjoying one more night
Exactly.
of
Life.
and maybe their last evening.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I get it. Oh, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just rolling my sleeves up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so it's the Northeast, and it's hot as hell. It's not as bad today as it was past couple days.
It is not, right.
But we're all doing what we can to stay cool.
Yeah.
And Bonaparte is rolling.
Rolling.
Yeah.
Rolling up my sleeves here. Yeah. And I'm making a mess doing so, hitting the microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do this.
Are you good?
Yeah.
Do you need help?
I'm all grown. I can do this.
Well,
Maybe. Okay. So I'm going to detract from me and go back to the show.
okay.
The song that we have was actually written in 1863 during the Civil War.
Oh, okay. Also very brutal.
Also very brutal. And written by a man named George Frederick Root. He was also, just like our previous composer, born in Massachusetts. And he was a music educator. Became a songwriter known for writing songs defending the Union cause.
That name sounds familiar. I think we've heard stuff by him before on this program.
He's written over 30 war songs, including 2 that I know we've played, The Battle Cry of Freedom
Yep.
and Tramp, Tramp, Tramp.
Yep. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Got
so
it.
that's where you've heard the name before.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
This one is entitled Just Before the Battle, Mother.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so
Oh, no.
it's about thinking of your mom as you're about to go into battle.
Oh, jeez.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, what goes through a soldier's head the day before?
Yeah.
You know, it's...
His family, his loved ones.
Right. Exactly.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, so, you know, as part of our arc, you know, in the first song we had the cry for help. Now we've got people ready to help, and they are going to go to battle to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just before the battle. So that last line was a little difficult to understand with the noise, but it reads, "You may never press me to your heart again, but oh, you'll not forget me, mother, if I'm numbered with the slain."
Oof.
Yeah, it really does emphasize what the potential cost of war is.
Yeah. Very realistic
Yeah.
expectations. Remind me, what year was this?
This was 1904.
It was when it was recorded,
Yes.
and it was written during the Civil War.
During the Civil War, yeah, 1863.
Oh, so like right before, like right as the war was ending.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it ended at 65.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm terrible.
Me too.
Nice.
Yeah.
And who was singing?
Okay, so that was the Columbia Stellar Quartet. They were Columbia House Band initially, but they became the Peerless Quartet, whom we've definitely played before.
Yeah. Well, and they're not a band.
Well, correct, a quartet, I
Yeah.
apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I really enjoyed about their performance was they were sensitive to the text. And when I say that they're sensitive to the text, they were singing the words. They weren't just singing the words. They were singing the words they were thinking about the words they were singing.
Right.
And musically, they were applying dynamics to it based on the things they were singing. Like you heard, like at the end when it got very soft,
Yeah.
it's almost like a prayer.
Right.
And when in the middle where it sort of climaxed, when they were singing about the bugle sounding, you know, the time to fight, time for the battle, bugle sounding, you could almost feel the singer like, okay, time to buck up the courage, time to get out there, bugle's calling, gotta go, and so it got louder.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I really appreciated how sensitive they were to the text, and they were really singing the words.
Right, the emotion behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very nice recording. I liked that one.
I liked it. I liked how sensitive it was. I liked how, I think that, you know, in songs like this, they can really run the risk of sounding a little bit schmaltzy.
Sure.
A little bit overly sentimental, a little bit melodramatic. They can lean toward, and certainly to today's ears, it can sound like songs like that can sound very melodramatic. But I didn't get that sense at all from that. It didn't feel dated. It felt real. It felt as real as though somebody today were singing it.
Right. You could just about picture it. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't over the top.
Right.
It was very well executed.
Yeah. You know, and I'm going to segue at this point. You know, it's this type of song, you know, and the analysis and the history behind it that, you know, we try to bring to Blind Skeleton, you know, whatever we do with Blind Skeleton.
Yeah.
You know, Blind Skeleton is it is our homage to, you know, vintage entertainment, days gone by, you know, music and photography and film and such. But it's more than just the technology. It's the art behind it and the inspiration and the stories, both of, you know, the photos and the films and the songs of not just the people that created them, but the stories behind them. You know, what is all of this about? This is what makes humans human. It's part of the story of humankind.
Yep.
You know, and that's what we like to do at Blind Skeleton, is really bring all of that. So, you know, we can, just like the Wheel of the Year, you know, we can, you know, rest or just be aware of the fact that the things that we go through today are the same struggles that people have gone through since the history of people.
It's true. There have been ebbs and flows and highs and lows, but generally speaking, the human condition has not changed all that much in terms of what has been important to people.
Right.
Certainly loved ones, you know, are part of that story.
Yes.
And war has been part of the story forever.
Right.
And love has been part of the story forever. And it's neat to hear these songs and to watch these films that we've watched and look at these old photographs and really try to get into the shoes of the people that created this art,
Right.
to really understand and connect with them over generations. Like, oh, that's important to me too. I understand where you were coming from because
Right.
that's important to me too. And it's a neat way to connect to history.
Yeah.
We know the facts mostly. It's where written record happens is where the facts are, where the history is. But part of the human story is how we were feeling.
Correct. Yeah.
And that's what I love about what we do.
Yeah. And it's what we try to do, here every week on this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you can find all of that stuff over at blindskeleton.one. That is our website. That's where all of the stuff gets put. That's where you can find this podcast there. You can get it wherever fine podcasts are peddled.
Yes.
But at blindskeleton.one, you can see our blog posts. You can find links to our socials. By that, I mean social, because we only have one.
Yes.
It is Blue Sky. You can find our contact information there. There's a web form to fill out. You can email us. Or what's not on the website is our telephone number.
Correct.
302-609-1925.
Yep.
You can call and leave us a message. Tell us where you're listening from. We'll give you a shout. You can also reach out to us on our socials. Tell us where you're listening from. If you have any ideas for shows, we're open to that.
Oh, absolutely. I do have a list of about 40, but, it's very fluid, as Yulia knows. Every odd week, it'll be like, I think we should do this instead.
Yeah. And chances are, if you recommend something, it might be on our list already.
Right.
But if you call and recommend it, or you get in touch, we'll bump it to the top of the list.
Absolutely.
So if you would like to get in touch with us, please head over to blindskeleton.one. And while you're there, you can also sign up for our newsletter.
Yes, indeed.
And signing up for our newsletter entitles you to a free sample of our coffee, a free 2-ounce sample, which will make you 1 pot of drip coffee.
Yes, it is a 2-ounce sample of pre-ground coffee. It is enough to make a full 12-cup pot.
Yes.
Now, of course, if you have a smaller pot, then you would want to divvy it up to make multiple small pots.
Right.
Yes.
Right. But yeah, that's kind of a neat way to try our coffee. No obligation.
Right. We'll send it to you for free.
That's right. And when you give us your email address and all that stuff, we do not save. We don't sell your personal information.
It's gross.
We don't do that. Yeah. And as far as telling us where to send it, you can tell us to send it anywhere.
Right.
Like we will need your address, obviously, to have a place to send that coffee, but we're not going to like we could afford to mail you stuff. Come on now.
Yeah, we're not Starbucks where the CEO gets to buy a $50 million yacht.
Oh, try 600 million.
Whatever it was.
Yeah,
It's
ridiculous.
gross.
Ridiculous
Yeah,
amount.
we're two people with a mortgage and cats.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, we are you got more in common with us than that guy.
Absolutely. and I can assure you, we appreciate your business much more.
100%.
Yes.
And we are not gonna mail you anything but your sample.
Exactly.
We're not gonna flood your mailbox with crap. We're also not going to spam your email. We're not going to sell your email to anybody because that's also gross.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can. We believe in keeping it real.
Yeah.
Nothing shady here.
Exactly.
What you see is what you get.
Yep. Absolutely.
So head on to blindskeleton.one, get in touch, have a look around. If you have any questions, reach out.
Yeah. Be happy to talk to you. So our third song, as the art goes, takes place after the battle.
Okay.
The good guys won.
Well, that's good.
Okay. Doesn't always happen, but,
No.
in this story for this, particular podcast episode, the Allies did win the war.
Yes.
And that's what this next song is all about. This song was also written during the Civil War.
Okay.
Okay. I had actually looked for a song from the Boer War, but ultimately felt that it was too imperialistic for my liking.
Okay.
I, for a brief moment, really considered Charge of the Light Brigade,
Oh.
but that did not turn out well in that
Oh.
story. Oh, yeah, in the Light Brigade, it was a
Yeah.
massive misunderstanding, and 600 cavalrymen, charged a bunch of cannons.
Yeah.
Didn't turn out well.
No.
So I ended up with Marching Through Georgia.
Oh, well, that's fraught.
It is. It is. But the song itself commemorates Sherman's march to the sea.
Okay.
Okay. The song celebrates the Union Army pushing deep into Confederate territory and making, in quotes, a thoroughfare for freedom. Now, it is fraught, but
Yeah.
we're here to talk about it as well.
Yeah. I'm thinking of the burning of Atlanta, which was devastating.
It was. I mean, the Civil War was the Civil War.
It was ugly, ugly, ugly.
Yeah, history is, of course, written by the victors. In the case of the Civil War, it's not necessarily true, and the history of the Civil War is still contentious.
Right. I mean, to be clear, we had to... I feel like we had to fight the Civil War because if we hadn't, imagine how much longer slavery would have endured.
Right.
Right? Even after the Civil War.
Well, yeah, up until the 60s. 70s.
Well,
80s.
Jim Crow. Yeah, Jim Crow law. Listen,
Right.
Jim Crow laws are still alive and well in some places. Sundown towns are still a thing.
Right.
But I'm talking about like actual ownership of human beings. Like even after the Civil War, like we're coming up on Juneteenth.
Yes.
Right? Which is when slavery was officially abolished.
Yeah.
But the news of that didn't get around to everybody so quick.
Right.
And there were people that got the news and flat out freaking ignored it.
Yeah.
The last two states in the Union to abolish slavery, I think, were Texas and Delaware.
Yeah.
Which is wild because you think of Delaware as a Union state.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, wild time in our nation's history.
Yeah.
Is it any wilder than now? Hard to say. I think it's neck and neck.
Yeah, exactly.
But like think of what would have happened if we had not fought the Civil War.
Oh,
wait, you have a book on that.
I do. It's called What If. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I still have yet to read that.
Oh, I've read parts of it. So the book What If is a series. God, there are dozens upon dozens of essays in it from well-known historians about what could have happened if something in history happened just a little bit differently.
Yeah, these are theoreticals, right? Yeah.
But the one that always comes to mind, which I use when I suggest this book to anyone, is Alexander the Great. Now, Alexander the Great and the ancient Greeks were, by anyone's definition, the forefathers of Western society and democracy. Now, it was the ancient Greeks, who first had the concept and a word for citizen.
Right.
No other culture before then had that concept.
Right.
So in Alexander the Great's first campaign into Persia, he came one axe swing away from being killed. His trusty lieutenant was right there and was able to stop the man who was swinging his axe down at Alexander's head. Imagine what would have happened if that lieutenant wasn't there. All of Western history is changed.
It would have pivoted.
Right.
In a way that we can't probably even predict.
Right. The Alexander's empire, Greece, arguably defeated by the Persians.
Yeah.
And anything could have happened. And this book is full of that type of essay and discussion.
Yeah.
And there are definitely essays in there about the Civil War as well.
Yeah.
What would have happened. And so to answer your question, there's, I think, 2 essays in there about what would have happened if the Confederates won the war.
I mean, the implications are just so far-reaching.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And, I mean, this country never recovered from the Civil War.
Well, agreed.
Never recovered from the Civil War.
There are still people fighting it today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unbelievably.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's another one of those cases where, like, we saw what was going on and we had to fight it.
Right.
And that's, Second World War is also a little weird because the Americans didn't get involved until they started picking on us.
Right.
And then it's like, okay, like after Pearl Harbor,
Yeah, now we're getting involved.
Now we're going to get involved, and now we're going to like fuck shit up.
Right.
But again, like, should we have stepped in sooner?
It's
Like, should we have thrown the lifeline sooner? I don't know, man.
lots of hypothetical
Lots of
questions there.
hypotheticals.
Yeah.
And you know, that's a question for perhaps historians who know more
Right.
about the war than either of us do.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah. So tell us. So this next song.
Yeah. Let's talk about the song a little bit, because there's at least one interesting, funny story about it.
Oh,
So the song is Marching Through Georgia. Now, it does have words. The version that we're listening to does not. It's a march by Prince's band.
Prince?
Not
The Revolution?
not
Prince in the Revolution? The
sadly
purple
no.
one?
Just Prince's band.
Prince's band.
Yes. From 1916.
So not the Revolution.
Not the Revolution. Nothing to do with Minneapolis. The parts of the wordage, include hurrah, hurrah, we bring the Jubilee, the flag that makes you free. So definitely loaded.
Yeah.
Definitely loaded.
Loaded.
Yeah. And it was about Sherman. The amusing part is Sherman himself grew so tired of hearing it played at every public gathering he attended that he eventually refused to appear at events unless bands agreed not to perform it.
I respect that. I respect that
Yeah.
because, like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, is it a bad march,
No, it's not a bad march.
or is
but
it just he just got so barfy on it that he
Yeah.
was like, ugh, come on.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Are the words weird?
Well, they are, depending on your point of view, patriotic, jingoistic, loaded.
maybe-
hurrah,
maybe-
hurrah, we bring the Jubilee.
Yeah. Maybe he just because I'm just trying to get into Sherman's shoes here for a second.
Right.
Like I'm trying to envision what was so odious about this song that he just was like, I've had it enough.
I just think he got tired of hearing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but like too, like I'm sure he didn't want to be a war hero necessarily. And
Right.
and maybe I mean, I don't know. There are certainly people who want the glory of war.
Yeah.
Right.
Like a Custer.
Correct.
Yeah.
But, maybe he was one of those guys that was just like, I was just doing my duty.
Right.
I don't want fanfare. I don't want people to worship me. I
Right.
don't want people to
We had to go and help people. That's what we did.
And maybe
Yeah.
the song was like, like
Yeah.
the straw that broke General Sherman's back. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to listen to a march. Now, I think it's a nice way to end our arc today,
Who wrote it, please? I'm sorry.
yeah, sorry. It was written by Henry Clay Work. He was a Chicago-based songwriter.
Henry Clay Work, W-O-R-K?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think I've heard of that guy.
Yeah, I don't believe I have either.
Okay.
Yeah.
And year?
This version was recorded in 1916.
1916. And the march was written
Where are my notes?
shortly after the Civil War ended.
1865.
Okay, so like right as the war ended.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Let's listen.
Yeah, Marching Through Georgia. that was definitely a march.
Yeah. Not a fan. Only because I'm spoiled, right? I am a huge fan of like the Sousa marches.
Right.
Like, I do love me a Sousa march, and he was the March King for a reason. And what I didn't like about that particular march is that it never changed key. It was the same. It was literally, you could tell that it was a song and not a march,
Right.
as opposed to a march that somebody later wrote words to, because it played through. You could hear verse, chorus, verse, chorus.
Yeah.
verse,
Oh,
chorus,
definitely.
right.
Yeah.
So General Sherman, I get it, but I will say, it was nice to hear an interesting tuba part,
Yeah.
as opposed to just, like the oompa, right?
Right.
I heard some interesting stuff going on with that tuba player. So, and also very well played.
Yeah.
They all did a nice job, actually. It was there. I mean, there were some tuning issues in the clarinets, but apart from that, yeah, I enjoyed it.
Oh, good.
I enjoyed their performance. I'm not going to say I enjoyed the march.
Right. That's fair.
They executed it
Yeah,
well. And who played it?
Prince's band.
That's right.
Yes.
The Revolution.
The Revolution.
No.
See, when I heard that song, both times this has happened now. I think visually, so I'm constantly have visuals in my head, and I'm visualizing a cartoon of an army of bipedal mice, marching out of their little mouse holes in the house, and throwing ropes up the side of the cabinet, climbing up the cabinet to get to the cheese, and then marching the cheese back to their homes. That's
You have a rich and complex inner world.
perhaps.
See, when I was listening to it, I was thinking of General Sherman rolling his eyes and secretly like turning to the guy next to him and going, like, not this gaggy.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And, I think with that, we're going to call it an episode.
I think we've got to listen. I know you wanted to give this some gravitas, and yes, we do owe it. We do owe it sincerity, because D-Day was a turning point in the war, and a lot of people suffered and a lot of people died. And yeah, it was an important thing to do. It was the right thing to do.
It was.
Of course, diplomacy first always, but sometimes diplomacy fails. And when diplomacy fails, sometimes you have to answer the call.
Right.
And maybe we're at that point.
Maybe. That'll be a discussion for another episode.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
I'm not saying that we should go to war, but maybe the time for being nice is.
Maybe somebody needs a good bitch slap.
Can I do it?
Yes, you would.
Can I do it?
Yes.
I think I'd be good at it.
Yeah.
Get over here, you big orange piece of shit.
Right.
Sorry. Not sorry. Anyway, thanks for joining us this week.
Yes, indeed. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to it as much as we enjoyed putting it together.
Yeah, this was good. I liked this. Nice choices this week.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Looking forward to next week.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you all soon.
Bye.